Raya and the Last Dragon, 2021, is an animated fantasy adventure film from Disney. Here's a detailed summary of the plot. Plot summary. The movie is set in the fictional world of Kumandra, a once harmonious land now divided into 5 regions: heart, fang, spine, talon, and tail. Long ago, humans and dragons coexisted peacefully, but an evil force known as the Droon, a swirling purple mist that turns living beings to stone, threatened their world. The dragons sacrificed themselves to save humanity, leaving behind a magical gem to ward off the Droon. Over time, mistrust among the regions led to the gem being guarded by the Heart tribe, which caused resentment among the others. Raya, the daughter of Chief Benja of the Heart tribe, is trained to protect the gem. Benja dreams of reuniting the fractured Kumandra. During a feast to bring the tribes together, Raya befriends Namari, the daughter of the Fang chief. However, Namari betrays her and attempts to steal the gem, leading to a fight among the tribes. The gem is broken into 5 pieces, and the Droon return, spreading destruction across Kumandra. Raya's journey. Years later, Raya embarks on a quest to find Sisu, the last dragon, hoping to reunite the gem pieces and defeat the Droon. She finds Sisu in a river, and together they travel across Kumandra, collecting the gem fragments from each tribe. Each piece grants Sisu a new magical ability. As they journey in Tail, they recover the first piece and encounter a desert-like terrain. In Talon, they outwit a con artist, Baby, and her group of monkeys to secure the second piece. In Spine, they gain an ally, Tong, a warrior from the Spine tribe, and retrieve the third piece. Throughout their journey, they are pursued by Namari, who seeks the gem pieces for Fang. Raya struggles to trust others due to past betrayals, while Sisu emphasizes the importance of trust and unity. Climactic battle. When they reach Fang, Raya tries to negotiate with Namari, but tensions rise, and Sisu is accidentally killed. Without Sisu, the group is disheartened but decides to continue the mission. Raya leads an attack on Fang as the Droon overruns the city. During the chaos, the group members sacrifice themselves one by one to protect the remaining gem pieces. Finally, Raya decides to trust Namari and gives her the last piece of the gem. Namari, moved by the gesture, completes the gem and activates its power. The Droon are defeated, and everyone, including the dragons and Sisu, is revived. Ending. The people of Kumandra are reunited, and harmony is restored. Raya returns to her father, and the dragons celebrate with the humans, symbolizing a new era of trust and unity in Kumandra. Here's a more detailed and expansive retelling of Raya and the Last Dragon. Introduction and the legend of Kumandra. The story begins in the once prosperous and harmonious land of Kumandra, where humans and dragons lived side by side. This peace was shattered centuries ago by a mysterious force called the Droon, a malevolent, formless entity that turned everything it touched into stone. The dragons, protectors of the realm, sacrificed themselves to save humanity. Their combined magic was concentrated into a powerful dragon gem, which vanquished the Droon. However, the dragons themselves were turned to stone, leaving the humans to guard the gem. Over the centuries, mistrust and greed fractured Kumandra into 5 distinct regions, shaped like a dragon: heart, fang, spine, talon, and tail. The Heart tribe became the gem's keepers, fostering resentment among the others, as they believed Heart's prosperity came from the dragon gem's power. Betrayal and the shattering of the gem. Raya, a young warrior princess of Heart, is trained by her father, Chief Benja, to guard the dragon gem. Benja dreams of restoring unity among the tribes and invites their leaders to a feast to rekindle trust. During the feast, Raya befriends Namari, the daughter of the Fang tribe's leader. Namari shares Raya's admiration for the dragons and gifts her a dragon pendant, leading Raya to trust her. However, Namari betrays Raya and attempts to steal the dragon gem for Fang. In the chaos, the leaders of the other tribes intervene, and their struggle causes the gem to shatter. This unleashes the Droon once more, turning many, including Chief Benja, into stone. Each tribe seizes a piece of the shattered gem and retreats to their lands. Raya, devastated by her father's petrification, sets out on a quest to find Sisu, the last surviving dragon, who is rumored to still exist. Raya and Sisu's quest. 6 years later, Raya locates Sisu in a river in the Tail region. Sisu, though initially unassuming and comedic, reveals her deep compassion and hope for humanity. Raya explains her mission to collect the gem fragments to defeat the Droon and restore peace. Sisu agrees to help but emphasizes the importance of trust and unit, a concept Raya struggles with due to past. Here's a more detailed and expansive retelling of Raya and the Last Dragon. Introduction and the Legend of Kumandra. The story begins in the once prosperous and harmonious land of Kumandra, where humans and dragons lived side by side. This peace was shattered centuries ago by a mysterious force called the Druun, a malevolent, formless entity that turned everything it touched into stone. The dragons, protectors of the realm, sacrificed themselves to save humanity. Their combined magic was concentrated into a powerful dragon gem, which vanquished the Droon. However, the dragons themselves were turned to stone, leaving the humans to guard the gem. Over the centuries, mistrust and greed fractured Kumandra into 5 distinct regions, shaped like a dragon: heart, fang, spine, talon, and tail. The Heart tribe became the gem's keepers, fostering resentment among the others, as they believe Heart's prosperity came from the dragon gem's power. Betrayal and the shattering of the gem. Raya, a young warrior princess of Heart, is trained by her father, Chief Benja, to guard the dragon gem. Benja dreams of restoring unity among the tribes and invites their leaders to a feast to rekindle trust. During the feast, Raya befriends Namari, the daughter of the Fang tribe's leader. Namari shares Raya's admiration for the dragons and gifts her a dragon pendant, leading Raya to trust her. However, Namari betrays Raya and attempts to steal the dragon gem for Fang. In the chaos, the leaders of the other tribes intervene, and their struggle causes the gem to shatter. This unleashes the Druun once more, turning many, including Chief Benja, into stone. Each tribe seizes a piece of the shattered gem and retreats to their lands. Raya, devastated by her father's petrification, sets out on a quest to find Sisu, the last surviving dragon, who is rumored to still exist. Raya and Sisu's quest. 6 years later, Raya locates Sisu in a river in the Tail region. Sisu, though initially unassuming and comedic, reveals her deep compassion and hope for humanity. Raya explains her mission to collect the gem fragments to defeat the Droon and restore peace. Sisu agrees to help, but emphasizes the importance of trust and unit, a concept Raya struggles with due to past betrayals. Together, they begin their journey across Kumandra, visiting each tribe to retrieve the gem pieces. Each time they recover a fragment, Sisu regains one of her lost dragon abilities, as each piece holds the essence of her sibling's magic. Tail. The first piece in the desert-like Tail region, Raya and Sisu discover the first gem piece in a crumbling temple. They face traps and danger, but manage to retrieve the piece. However, the Droon's presence forces them to flee quickly. Sisu begins to reveal more about her family of dragons, emphasizing how they trusted her to save Kumandra despite her doubts about herself. Talon. Con artists and allies in the bustling market town of Talon. Raya and Sisu search for the second gem piece. Here they encounter a seemingly innocent baby, Little Noi, who turns out to be a cunning con artist working with a group of mischievous monkeys. After some antics, Raya convinces Noi to join their cause. Sisu, meanwhile, tries to bond with the townsfolk, illustrating her belief in trust and goodwill despite Raya's skepticism. Eventually, they recover the gem piece, but Namari, now a fearsome warrior pursuing them, grows ever closer. Spine. A new ally. Raya and Sisu arrive in the snowy Spine region, where they are captured by Tong, a gruff but lonely warrior who is the last surviving member of his tribe. Tong initially distrusts them, but soon learns of their quest. When Namari attacks with her soldiers, Raya and Tong team up to fend them off. After the battle, Tong decides to join their group, bringing his strength and determination to their mission. They also secure the third gem piece, further empowering Sisu. Fang. A tragic mistake with 3 gem pieces recovered, the group prepares to confront Namari and retrieve the final 2 pieces in Fang. Sisu suggests they appeal to Namari's better nature and offer her a chance to join them. Despite her mistrust, Raya reluctantly agrees. Raya arranges a meeting with Namari and offers her the dragon pendant from their first encounter as a gesture of goodwill. Namari, however, still harbors anger and mistrust. Tensions rise, and in a tragic moment of misunderstanding, Namari accidentally kills Sisu with an arrow. Without Sisu's magic, the group loses hope, and the Druin begin to overrun Fang. The final sacrifice determined to honor Sisu's dream of unity, Raya and her allies infiltrate Fang to recover the final gem piece. They face the Druin's relentless advance, and one by one, Raya's friends, Noi, Tong, and others, sacrifice themselves by turning to stone to protect the gem pieces. Finally, only Raya and Namari remain. Raya confronts Namari in An. The origin of Kumandra and the dragons. The movie opens with a tale of ancient times, when Kumandra was a flourishing land shaped like a dragon. The people lived in harmony, guided by the wisdom and magic of dragons, who protected the land with their supernatural abilities. But the peace was shattered when the Druin, an evil force that manifests as a swirling, creeping mist, emerged. The Druin turned everything it touched to stone, devastating the land. The dragons, selfless protectors of Kumandra, combined their magic to create the Dragon Gem, a mystical orb containing their collective power. This gem vanquished the Druin, saving humanity, but the dragons themselves were turned to stone. The loss of the dragons left the people of Kumandra fractured and divided. Over centuries, distrust and greed took root, and Kumandra split into 5 regions: heart, fang, spine, talon, and tail, each fiercely independent and often at odds with the others. The shattering of the Dragon Gem in the heart region, where the Dragon Gem is safeguarded, Raya is trained by her father, Chief Benja, to become the gem's next guardian. Benja dreams of reuniting Kumandra, but tensions between the tribes run high. To promote peace, he invites the leaders of the other regions to a feast at Heart. During the feast, Raya befriends Namari, a princess from Fang, who shares her admiration for the dragons. Namari gives Raya a dragon-shaped pendant as a symbol of friendship. Raya, believing in her sincerity, shows her the location of the Dragon Gem. However, Namari betrays her, attempting to steal the gem for Fang. The confrontation that follows results in chaos as the other tribes fight to claim the gem for themselves. The gem shatters into 5 pieces, unleashing the Druin once again. The Druin spread rapidly, petrifying anyone in their path. Chief Benja sacrifices himself to save Raya by throwing her into a river, giving her Thi. Last remaining shard of the gem, Raya's quest to save Kumandra 6 years later. Kumandra is desolate, with the Druin ravaging the land. Raya, now a lone warrior, has spent years searching for Sisu, the last dragon, who is said to still exist. She believes that Sisu can help her restore the Dragon Gem and defeat the Druin. Raya finally finds Sisu in the Tail region, in a river cave. Sisu is not what Raya expects, a playful, light-hearted dragon rather than a mighty warrior. Despite this, Sisu reveals her deep sense of duty and optimism. She agrees to help Raya, emphasizing that the only way to restore Kumandra is through trust and unity. The journey through Kumandra, Raya, and Sisu begin their journey to recover the gem pieces from the other regions, each of which has claimed a shard. With each shard they collect, Sisu regains one of her siblings' magical powers, including fog manipulation and shape-shifting into a human form. Tail, first shard, in. The desert-like Tail region, Raya and Sisu recover the first shard from an abandoned temple filled with traps. They learn of Tail's tragic decline. Most of its people have been petrified, and the region is nearly barren. The shard grants Sisu the ability to glow. Talon, second shard. In the bustling Talon region, Raya encounters Little Noi, a baby con artist, and her group of mischievous Onges, monkeys. Despite their initial trickery, Raya gains their trust, and they join her quest. Meanwhile, Sisu learns about the distrust and selfishness plaguing Kumandra, but insists on believing in humanity's potential for good. They recover the second shard, which gives Sisu the ability to summon rain. Spine, third shard. In the icy mountains of Spine, Raya and Sisu are captured by Tong, a gruff but kind-hearted warrior and the last surviving member of his tribe. Namari, who has been pursuing Raya to reclaim the shards, attacks Spine with her soldiers. After a fierce Spine with her soldiers battle, Tong joins Raya's group. They recover the third shard, which allows Sisu to summon Fob for concealment. The betrayal at Fang. With 3 shards in hand, the group heads to the prosperous Fang region to recover the final 2 pieces. Sisu suggests approaching Namari with an olive branch, believing that trust can heal the divisions. Raya reluctantly agrees, but her distrust of Namari remains strong. Raya arranges a meeting with Namari and offers her the dragon-shaped pendant as a symbol of peace. Namari, torn between her duty to her mother and her own conflicted feelings, hesitates. Tensions escalate, and in a tragic moment of misunderstanding, Namari accidentally shoots an arrow, killing Sisu. Sisu's death devastates Raya, who blames herself for failing to trust fully. Without Sisu, the Drune grow stronger, overrunning Fang and forcing Raya and her companions to act quickly. The climactic sacrifice in a desperate attempt to stop the Drune, Raya and her allies infiltrate Fang to recover the final shards. As the Drune approach, Raya's friends, Tong, Little Noi, and a world shaped by loss and mistrust, the Drune's resurgence shapes Kumandra into a world filled with fear, division, and a desperate fight for survival. Each tribe has isolated itself, guarding its people and its fragment of the dragon gem. This fractured world reflects the deeper problem at the heart of the story: humanity's inability to trust one another. Raya's journey begins as one of determination, but also isolation. Her father's sacrifice weighs heavily on her, fueling her mission to restore the gem, but also creating a deep mistrust in others. She believes that unity is a noble dream but impractical in a world driven by selfishness and betrayal. Raya's struggle is not just against the Drune, but against the pain and distrust left behind by the world's division. Raya and Sisu's growing bond. Sisu, in contrast, is the embodiment of hope and faith. While Raya is hardened by her experiences, Sisu remains optimistic, believing that trust and kindness can heal even the most fractured relationships. This contrast between them becomes a central theme. Raya's mistrust leads her to rely on stealth, deception, and careful planning, while Sisu consistently advocates for honesty and vulnerability. As they travel through Kumandra, Sisu's light-hearted nature and boundless belief in humanity begin to challenge Raya's worldview. Sisu is more than just a powerful dragon. She is a reminder of what humanity has lost: faith in one another. Her magic is not just in her abilities, but in her unwavering belief that people are capable of good. The journey deepens, new allies and hard lessons with each shard of the dragon gem. Raya and Sisu gain new powers, but they also gain new companions who bring different perspectives to their mission. Little Noi and the Ondies bring humor, but also underscore the lengths people have gone to survive in a world ravaged by the Drune. Noi's cunning and resourcefulness, despite being a baby, reflect the resilience of even the most vulnerable. Tong, a solitary warrior from Spine, represents the loss and loneliness caused by the Drune. His tribe has been wiped out, leaving him to face the world alone. Tong's decision to join Raya's group shows how trust can inspire connection, even for those who have suffered the most. These companions are more than just side characters. They are a microcosm of Kumandra, a group of individuals from different regions learning to work together despite their differences. The weight of betrayal and trust, the turning point of the story, occurs when Sisu suggests trusting Namari. Sisu sees Namari not as an enemy, but as a potential ally, someone who is also struggling with the weight of expectations and the divisions between their people. For Raya, this idea is almost unthinkable. Namari represents everything that has gone wrong in her life, the betrayal that shattered the gem, the loss of her father, and the years of loneliness and struggle. This moment is a test for Raya, challenging her to choose between holding on to her anger or taking a leap of faith. When the meeting with Namari goes wrong and Sisu is killed, Raya's world shatters. Sisu's death is not just a personal loss, but a devastating blow to the hope and optimism she had begun to embrace. Confronting the cycle of division as the Drune overrun Fang, Raya's anger threatens to consume her. In her confrontation with Namari, she is faced with the same choice that has shaped the history of Kumandra: fight for personal gain or choose unity. Namari, too, is torn between her loyalty to her people and her guilt over her actions. The moment Raya chooses to trust Namari, even after all that has happened, becomes the heart of the story. It is a profound act of vulnerability and courage, showing that trust is not about erasing the past, but about believing in the possibility of a better future. Sacrifice and redemption as. Each member of Raya's group sacrifices themselves to the Drune. They demonstrate the power of unity. Their willingness to place their faith in one another, even at the cost of their lives, stands in stark contrast to the divisions that have defined Kumandra for so long. When Namari completes the Dragon Gem, it is a moment of redemption, not just for her but for the entire land. The reassembly of the gem symbolizes the restoration of trust, as fractured pieces come together to create something greater than the sum of their parts. The revival of Kumandra, the magic of the Dragon Gem, vanquishes the Drune, reviving not only the people who were petrified, but also the dragons who had been lost for centuries. The sight of the dragons returning, their radiant colors lighting up the sky, is a moment of profound hope and renewal. Sisu's return, in particular, is a testament to the power of faith and selflessness. The dragon's revival is not just a magical event, but a symbol of what can be achieved when people come together. A new era for Kumandra. With the Drune defeated and the dragons restored, the people of Kumandra begin to rebuild their world. The 5 tribes, once divided by mistrust and greed, now come together, inspired by the sacrifices and courage of Raya and her companions. Raya's reunion with her father is a deeply emotional moment, as it represents the fulfillment of his dream for a united Kumandra. Chief Benja's vision, once dismissed as impossible, becomes a reality through the actions of his daughter and the people she brought together. Themes and reflections. Raya and the Last Dragon is more than just a story of adventure. It is a powerful exploration of trust, forgiveness, and the courage it takes to heal a fractured world. The film reminds us that unity is not about erasing differences, but about embracing them, finding strength in diversity, and believing in the potential for change. Raya's journey is both deeply personal and universal. Her struggle to trust, her moments of doubt, and her ultimate decision to open her heart reflect the challenges we all face in a world often divided by fear and misunderstanding. The revival of the dragons and the restoration of Kumandra are not just happy endings, they are a testament to what can be achieved when people choose to believe in one another, even in the face of uncertainty. A legacy of hope, the film ends with a sense of optimism and possibility. Kumandra's journey from division to unity is a story that resonates beyond its fantasy setting, offering a hopeful vision for a world where trust and cooperation can overcome even the greatest challenges. As the dragons soar through the skies and the people of Kumandra gather to celebrate their newfound harmony, Raya and Sisu's story becomes a lasting reminder that the greatest power lies not in magic or strength, but in the bonds we share and the trust we place in one another. Raya's lonely journey as the film opens. We see a world shaped by mistrust and loss, where survival has become the sole priority for most. Raya embodies this struggle, having lost her father and witnessed the shattering of the unity he so desperately hoped for. She roams Kumandra alone, accompanied only by her loyal pet Tuk-Tuk, a pill-bug-armadillo hybrid who serves as both a mode of transportation and her only companion in this broken world. Raya's solitude mirrors the fractured state of Kumandra. While she is determined to fulfill her mission, her experiences have hardened her, leaving her skeptical and guarded. Every interaction she has is colored by her inability to trust, a theme that follows her throughout the story. Her father, Chief Benja, envisioned a Kumandra united by mutual trust, but Raya has come to see his dream as naive. The shattering of the dragon gem not only released the Droon, but also shattered her belief in others. Yet, deep down, her father's ideals still linger, creating an inner conflict. That will shape her journey. Sisu's hopeful spirit, the introduction of Sisu marks a turning point in the story. Found in the desolate Tail region, Sisu initially appears unremarkable, a playful and somewhat awkward dragon. However, her optimism and unwavering belief in humanity immediately clash with Raya's cynicism. Sisu reveals her backstory, explaining how she was the least remarkable of her siblings. She wasn't the strongest or the smartest, yet her siblings entrusted her with the dragon gem because they believed in her heart. This history serves as a powerful counterpoint to Raya's worldview. Sisu's belief in the goodness of others isn't born from naivety, but from her lived experience as someone who succeeded because others trusted her. As they travel together, Sisu acts as a moral compass, constantly challenging Raya to look beyond her fear and mistrust. While Raya is focused on reclaiming the gem pieces through stealth and cunning, Sisu suggests that trust and open-heartedness might be a better path. Exploring the fractured regions, each region of Kumandra reflects the different ways people have responded to the chaos and division caused by the Droon. These regions aren't just physical locations, they are symbolic of the fractured state of humanity. 1. Tail is barren and empty, a stark reminder of what happens when greed and selfishness destroy a community. The people of Tail turned against each other for survival, and now only ruins remain. This desolation reinforces Raya's belief that trusting others is dangerous. 2. Talon is vibrant but deceptive, filled with people who have learned to survive through trickery and manipulation. It's here that Raya encounters Little Noi, a baby con artist, who uses her cuteness to distract while her monkey companions steal. Talon illustrates how people have adapted to a harsh world by prioritizing survival over morality. 3. Spine is isolated and heavily fortified, reflecting a community that has chosen to withdraw from the world entirely, its lone survivor. Fang, the most prosperous region, thrives on its strategic location and military strength. However, Fang's wealth and power come at a cost. Its people are deeply divided from the rest of Kumandra, and its leaders, including Namari, are consumed by the fear of losing their position. Namari, the mirror to Raya Namari, serves as a foil to Raya, reflecting what happens when ambition and duty are prioritized over trust. Like Raya, Namari has grown up in a fractured world and carries the weight of her mother's expectations. She is torn between her loyalty to Fang and her admiration for the dragons and their ideals. The tension between Namari and Raya drives much of the story. Their initial bond, formed during their brief friendship as children, is a reminder of what could have been if trust had been allowed to flourish. However, Namari's betrayal leaves a wound that shapes Raya's view of the world. Namara's journey is one of redemption, but it is not easy. She struggles with guilt and anger, and her eventual decision to help restore the gem is a testament to the transformative power of Raya's faith in her. Sisu's death, a moment of heartbreak. The death of Sisu is one of the most emotionally charged moments in the film. It represents the consequences of mistrust and fear, as well as the cost of failing to believe in others. For Raya, this moment is devastating. Sisu had become more than just an ally. She was a symbol of hope and a reminder of what Kumandra could be. Sisu's death forces Raya to confront her own role in perpetuating the cycle of mistrust. Her anger at Namari almost leads her to make the same mistakes that caused the gem to shatter in the first place. It is only when she steps back and chooses to trust Namari that she begins to break the cycle. The final act, choosing unity, the climax of the story, is not about defeating a villain, but about overcoming division. The Droon, as an enemy, are a manifestation of the fear and mistrust that have plagued Kumandra for centuries. Defeating them requires more than just physical strength. It requires faith and selflessness. As each member of Raya's group sacrifices themselves to protect the gem pieces, they demonstrate the power of unity. Their actions inspire Raya to place her trust in Namari, even after everything that has happened. This moment is a profound act of vulnerability, showing that true strength lies in the ability to trust, even when it is difficult. Namari's decision to complete the gem and restore Kumandra is a moment of redemption, not just for her, but for all of humanity. The restoration of Kumandra, the reassembly of the dragon gem, unleashes a wave of magic that vanquishes the Droon and restores everyone who had been petrified. The return of the dragons is a powerful symbol of hope and renewal, as they represent the unity and harmony that Kumandra once knew. Raya's reunion with her father is deeply emotional, as it marks the fulfillment of his dream for a united Kumandra. The people of the 5 regions come together, inspired by the sacrifices and courage of Raya and her companions. A timeless message, Raya and the Last Dragon, is a story about the power of trust and the courage it takes to heal a broken world. It reminds us that unity is not about erasing differences, but about finding strength in them. Raya's journey, from a mistrustful warrior to a unifier, is a powerful testament to the idea that change begins with a single act of faith. The film ends on a hopeful note, with the people of Kumandra beginning to rebuild their world, guided by the lessons learned from Raya and Sisu. It is a story that resonates deeply, offering a message of hope and unity in the face of division and fear. Stage 1. Conceptualizing the story. 1. Idea generation. Start with a strong and intriguing idea. The concept must evoke emotion or curiosity. Ask yourself, what genre do you want to explore? E.g., action, drama, fantasy, thriller. What themes resonate with you? E.g., love, redemption, betrayal. What hook will make your story unique? For instance, I want to tell a story about a man stranded in a city that never sleeps, where every 24 hours a supernatural event rewrites reality. The plot explores survival, self-discovery, and the fragility of memory. 2. Creating a premise. Develop your core premise, what the movie is about, in a single sentence. A young woman discovers she is the key to an ancient prophecy, but must unite warring factions of her world to save it. This is the heartbeat of your movie. It will inform every decision, from visuals to dialogue. Stage 2. Building the world and characters. 1. World building. Create a rich, immersive setting for your story. Is it grounded in reality or fantastical? What are the rules of this world? How does the world impact the characters and plot? For example, if your story is set in a dystopian future, think about the technology, political systems, and societal struggles. 2. Crafting characters. Write detailed backstories for your characters to make them multidimensional. Key elements. Protagonist. Who is the hero? What motivates them? Antagonist. What opposes the hero? Is it a person, a force, or their inner conflict? Supporting characters. How do they enrich the story or challenge the hero? Example. Protagonist. A reclusive artist who discovers she can paint the future. Antagonist. A corrupt businessman exploiting her gift for his own gain. Stage 3. Developing the plot 1. Outline the structure, follow a 3-act structure or a similar storytelling framework. Act 1. Set up, introduce the characters, setting, and central conflict. Establish what's at stake. Act 2. Confrontation. The protagonist faces obstacles, grows, and approaches their breaking point. Act 3. Resolution, climax, and resolution. How does the protagonist achieve their goal, or what do they learn? 2. Add layers and subplots, incorporate subplots to enrich the narrative. A romantic subplot. An internal conflict, e.g., overcoming past trauma. A secondary conflict that complicates the main plot. Example: the artist, while battling the businessman, must also mend her strained relationship with her estranged sister. 3. Storyboarding key scenes. Visualize pivotal scenes to establish tone and style. Storyboards help convey your ideas to your team and ensure clarity of vision. Stage 4. Visual and emotional direction 1. Setting the tone. Determine the emotional experience you want for the audience. Should they feel suspense, wonder, joy, or sadness? Use color palettes, lighting, and music to create this mood. 2. Cinematic style. Choose a visual style that complements your story. Will you use handheld cameras for intimacy or wide, steady shots for grandeur? How will sound and silence influence key moments? Stage 5. Pre-production planning 1. Assemble your team. Bring in professionals who share your vision, including a scriptwriter, if you're not writing yourself, cinematographer, production designer, and costume designer. Casting director. Define the right actors for your roles. 2. Casting the roles. Find actors who embody your characters. Sometimes a great actor will add layers to your vision through their interpretation. 3. Scheduling and budgeting. Break the script into scenes and create a shooting schedule. Plan the budget for locations, set design, props, and costumes. Camera equipment, lighting, and post-production. Cast and crew salaries. Stage 6. Production and directing 1. Directing. The vision on set. Your job as a director is to communicate your vision clearly to the cast and crew. Adapt to unexpected challenges. Focus on performance and emotional authenticity. 2. Problem solving. Film shoots rarely go as planned. Stay flexible and creative in resolving issues, whether it's a missed scene, weather changes, or technical failures. Stage 7. Post-production 1. Editing. Work closely with your editor to shape the final narrative. Decide the pacing, transitions, and overall flow of the story. 2. Music and sound design. Choose a composer to create a memorable score. Sound effects and mixing add depth to the world and heighten emotional impact. 3. Visual effects. If applicable, integrate GEI, green screen work, or other effects that bring the story's vision to life. Stage 8. Release and reflection 1. Marketing and promotion. Craft trailers, posters, and social media campaigns to generate excitement. Screen the film at festivals or plan a theatrical release. 2. Audience engagement. Connect with your audience by discussing the themes and story during interview. 1. Conceptualizing the movie. Core idea. The central idea revolves around trust and unity in a world divided by conflict. The concept explores how distrust has led to division and how faith in one another can heal a broken world. Themes: trust and betrayal, unity in diversity, the power of sacrifice. Genre: fantasy adventure with emotional depth, humor, and action. Hook: a young warrior embarks on a journey to restore peace by reuniting the pieces of a magical gem, relying on the help of a mythical dragon and unlikely allies. 2. World-building setting. Kumandra. Kumandra is a fictional, fantastical land inspired by Southeast Asian cultures. Its design reflects diversity, with each region representing unique aspects of the shared heritage. Tale: a barren desert, symbolizing the cost of greed. Talon: a bustling floating market filled with life and deception. Spine: a remote mountain village that reflects isolation and strength. Fang: a wealthy, fortified kingdom symbolizing ambition and fear. Heart, the peaceful center of Kumandra, home to the Dragon Gem. Design goals: incorporate vibrant landscapes inspired by Southeast Asia's architecture, natural beauty, and traditions. Use diverse elements like river systems, lush jungles, and temples to emphasize the connection between people and nature. 3. Character development. Raya. Role: protagonist, the warrior of heart. Arc: from mistrustful and independent to someone who learns to trust others again. Motivation: to restore the Dragon Gem and honor her father's dream of unity. Traits: brave, resourceful, determined, but skeptical and guarded. Sisu. Role: the last dragon, a symbol of hope and faith. Arc: helps Raya learn to trust, while rediscovering her own confidence and connection to her dragon siblings. Traits: optimistic, humorous, self-doubting but wise. Namari. Role: antagonist turned ally. Arc: torn between her loyalty to Fang and her admiration for Raya, she finds redemption through sacrifice. Traits: ambitious, strong-willed, and complex. Supporting characters: Tuk Tuk, Raya's loyal steed and companion, adding comic relief. Little Nui and the Ongis provide humor and show the lengths people go to survive. Tong represents loss and resilience, ultimately finding hope through teamwork. 4. Plot structure. Act 1. The setup: introduce Kumandra as a united land, now divided by distrust. Show how the Droon were unleashed and the Dragon Gem was shattered. Raya's father sacrifices himself to save her, inspiring her quest. Raya sets out to find Sisu, the last dragon, and reclaim the gem pieces. Act 2. The journey: Raya and Sisu travel through Kumandra's regions, each offering challenges and moral lessons. They gather allies, including Little Noi, Tong, and Baun, showcasing unity across diverse backgrounds. Sisu advocates for trust, while Raya remains skeptical. Tension builds between Raya and Namari, culminating in an uneasy truce. Act 3. The resolution: the betrayal at Fang leads to Sisu's death, devastating Raya. Raya confronts Namari, but realizes that anger and mistrust perpetuate the cycle. Raya and her allies sacrifice themselves to show trust in Namari, who restores the gem. The Droon are defeated, the dragons return, and Kumandra is reunited. 5. Visual and emotional direction. Tone: balance between action, humor, and emotional depth. Light-hearted moments with Sisu and the team are contrasted with the serious themes of loss and division. Cinematography: wide, sweeping shots to emphasize Kumandra's vastness and beauty. Close-ups during emotional moments to connect audiences with characters' inner struggles. Color palette: vibrant colors for the dragons and landscapes, symbolizing hope and unity. Dark, muted tones for scenes involving the Droon, emphasizing fear and chaos. Music: incorporate Southeast Asian instruments and melodies to create an authentic, immersive score. The music transitions between uplifting themes during hopeful moments and haunting melodies during tense scenes. 6. Pre-production research: the filmmakers studied Southeast Asian cultures, consulting cultural experts to ensure authenticity in storytelling, costume design, architecture, and traditions. Casting: focus on diverse talent to reflect the story's cultural roots and create genuine, engaging performances. Production design: build sets and animations that reflect intricate details of the world, from floating markets to ancient temples. 7. Production challenges: coordinating complex animation sequences for action scenes and the Droon's effects, balancing the humor with a serious tone to ensure the story remains impactful, creating dynamic interactions between animated characters to convey trust and conflict. 8. Post-production editing: ensure smooth transitions between the regions of Kumandra to maintain the story's pacing. Emphasize the emotional beats of Sisu's deet. 1. The core idea: building a universal story at its heart. Raya, and the Last Dragon is a universal tale about trust and unity. The creative team sought to create a story that would resonate globally while being rooted in the traditions and cultures of Southeast Asia. Themes at the core: trust versus mistrust. The film explores how distrust has driven humanity apart and how healing begins when we have faith in one another. Unity in diversity. Kumandra represents a fractured world where differences have led to division. The story reflects the idea that strength comes from working together despite those differences. Redemption and sacrifice. Characters like Namari and Sisu reflect the power of redemption and the willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. These themes make the story both culturally specific and universally relatable, a balance that the creative team aimed to achieve throughout the movie's development. 2. The world of Kumandra, creating a rich and unique setting. The directors envisioned Kumandra as a fantastical land inspired by Southeast Asian cultures, combining natural beauty with rich traditions. Regions of Kumandra. Each of the 5 regions represents a distinct aspect of Southeast Asia, while also reflecting the consequences of division. Heart, the land of peace and the home of the dragon gem. Heart's design emphasizes harmony and balance, with flowing rivers and lush landscapes. Tail, a barren desert where survival is harsh, symbolizing greed and selfishness. Its isolation reflects the consequences of mistrust. Talon, a bustling floating market inspired by Southeast Asia's river-based trade. The region is lively but filled with deceit and opportunism, showing how people adapt to chaos. Spine, a remote mountainous region with fortresses that reflect fear and isolation. Its stoic inhabitants represent strength and resilience. Fang, a wealthy and powerful region with grand architecture. Its Pao. Prosperity comes at the cost of division, as its leaders fear losing their dominance. The creative team worked closely with cultural experts to ensure that each region felt authentic, incorporating real-world elements such as food, clothing, and traditions from Southeast Asia. 3. Character development, depth, and relatability. The characters in Raya and The Last Dragon were designed to be complex and relatable, each representing different perspectives on trust and unity. Raya inspiration. Raya was designed to be a strong yet vulnerable protagonist. Her skepticism and independence reflect the struggles of someone who has been deeply hurt by betrayal. Arc. Throughout the film, Raya grows from someone who distrusts the world to someone who understands the importance of faith and cooperation. Her relationship with Sisu, Namari, and her companions drives this transformation. Visual design. Raya's warrior aesthetic incorporates elements of traditional Southeast Asian attire, such as sarongs and tunics, combined with practical gear for her journey. Sisu inspiration. Sisu is a blend of humor, wisdom, and vulnerability. Her character was designed to break the mold of traditional dragons in fantasy stories. Arc. Sisu begins as a reluctant hero, unsure of her worth. Through her journey with Raya, she regains her confidence and proves that trust is a powerful force. Design. Sisu's vibrant, flowing design reflects water and joy, symbolizing hope. Her movements were inspired by the fluidity of Southeast Asian dances. Namari inspiration. Namari represents the complexity of human nature. She is not a villain in the traditional sense, but rather a character torn between loyalty to her people and her own desires. Arc. Namari's journey from antagonist to ally mirrors the film's central message about overcoming division. Design. Namari's sleek, warrior-like appearance reflects Fang's militaristic culture. Her strong, sharp features emphasize her determination and strength, supporting characters Bound, a street-smart boy who provides comic relief and shows resourcefulness in adversity. Little Noi and the Ongis, a baby con artist, and her mischievous companions, representing the creativity people use to survive in a chaotic world. Tong, a stoic warrior whose grief and loneliness are healed through camaraderie. 4. Story structure, crafting a dynamic narrative. Act 1. The setup opening, the story begins with a narration about Kumandra's history, the dragon's sacrifice, and the shattering of the dragon gem. Inciting incident. The betrayal at heart leads to the gem's destruction and the rise of the Droon, setting Raya on her quest to find Sisu and restore the gem. Act 2. The journey exploration of Kumandra. Each region introduces new allies and challenges, showcasing the diversity of the world. Raya and Sisu's bond. Their relationship deepens, with Sisu teaching Raya the value of trust. Tension with Namari. Namari's pursuit adds stakes as her conflicting loyalty. Tension with Namari. Namari's pursuit adds stakes as her conflicting loyalties create tension. Act 3. The resolution Sisu's death. This emotional turning point forces Raya to confront her own mistrust. Climactic sacrifice. Raya and her companions demonstrate trust by sacrificing themselves, inspiring Namari to unite the gem. Ending. The restoration of Kumandra brings hope, unity, and the return of the dragons. 5. Visual and emotional direction. Cinematography and visuals. The directors aimed for a balance between sweeping, epic shots of Kumandra's landscapes and intimate moments between characters. Action scenes. Designed to be dynamic and fluid, inspired by Southeast Asian martial arts. Color palette. Vibrant colors symbolize hope and unity, while darker tones dominate scenes involving the Droon. Emotional beats. Sisu's optimism. Her light-hearted humor contrasts with the film's heavier themes, creating emotional balance. Relationship. Raya's bond with her father anchors her emotional journey. Sacrifice. The climactic scene is designed to evoke both heartbreak and hope, emphasizing the power of trust. 6. Cultural authenticity. The creative team worked with a Southeast Asia Story Trust, a group of cultural experts, to ensure authenticity in architecture and design. Temples, homes, and landscapes reflect real-world inspiration. Cuisine. Foods like satay and dumplings appear throughout the film. Music. The score incorporates Southeast Asian instruments such as gongs and bamboo flutes to create an immersive auditory experience. 7. Challenges in production. Animating the Droon. Creating a villain that is an amorphous supernatural force required innovative animation techniques. Balancing humor and drama, ensuring the film remained lighthearted without undermining its emotional depth. Pandemic constraints. Much of the film's production was completed remotely, requiring new workflows and collaboration methods. 8. Legacy. Of the film, Raya and the Last Dragon is not just a story about trust, but a celebration of cultural diversity and unity. Its themes resonate universally, while its specific cultural roots add depth and richness. As a director, the focus would have been on crafting a visually stunning, emotionally impactful, and culturally respectful movie that leaves a lasting impression on audiences worldwide. Main characters and voice actors. 1. Raya voice actor, Kelly Marie Tran. Details. Kelly Marie Tran became the first Southeast Asian actress to lead a Disney animated film. Her Vietnamese heritage brought authenticity to the role of Raya, and her voice added strength, emotion, and depth to the character. Tran replaced Cassie Steele, who was originally cast for the role during production. 2. Sisu voice actor, Awkwafina. Details. Awkwafina, a celebrated comedian and actress of Chinese and Korean descent, brought humor, warmth, and charm to the role of Sisu, the Last Dragon. Her distinctive voice helped highlight Sisu's quirky and optimistic personality. 3. Namari voice actor, Gemma Chan. Details. Gemma Chan, of Chinese descent, voiced Namari, the complex antagonist of the film. Her performance captured Namari's inner conflict, ambition, and eventual redemption, adding layers of depth to the character. Chief Benja, Raya's father, voice actor. Daniel Dae Kim details. Daniel Dae Kim, a Korean-American actor, voiced Chief Benja, Raya's wise and idealistic father. His powerful and heartfelt performance embodied the character's role as a guiding force in Raya's life. 5. Bound voice actor. Isaac Wang details. Isaac Wang, a young actor of Hmong heritage, voiced Baun, the charismatic boy who runs a shrimp boat. His energetic and witty performance brought the character's resourcefulness and charm to life. 6. Tong voice actor, Benedict Wong. Details. Benedict Wong, a British actor of Hong Kong descent, played Tong, the stoic yet kind-hearted warrior from Spine. His deep voice and emotional range gave depth to Tong's character. 7. Little Noi voice actor Thalia Tran details. Thalia Tran, of Vietnamese heritage, provided the voice for Little Noi, the mischievous baby con artist. While the character doesn't have traditional dialogue, Tran captured Noi's expressive and clever personality. 8. Virana, Namari's mother, voice actor. Sandra Oh details. Sandra Oh, a Canadian actress of Korean descent, voiced Virana, the leader of Fang and Namari's mother. Her commanding performance reflected Virana's pragmatism and ambition. 9. The Ongis voice actors vary as the mischievous Ongis, half-monkey, half-catfish creatures, provided comic relief, voiced by multiple actors who contributed their unique talents to the character's sounds and expressions. Additional voice talent Lucille Song as Dang Hu, the leader of Talon, Patty Harrison as the Tail Chief, Ross Butler as the Spine Chief. 1. The vision for casting. The filmmakers of Raya and The Last Dragon sought to ensure the voice cast reflected the film's Southeast Asian inspirations and its core themes of unity and diversity. The casting process prioritized authenticity, cultural connection, and exceptional talent to bring these characters to life. Goals of casting: cultural representation. The team wanted to cast actors of Asian descent wherever possible, ensuring the film was both respectful and authentic to its Southeast Asian inspirations. Vocal characterization. Each actor needed to embody their character's essence, using their voice to reflect complex emotions and distinct personalities. Balancing humor and emotion. As the story balances moments of humor, action, and deep emotion, the cast needed to deliver nuanced performances that matched the tone of the movie. 2. Detailed casting breakdown. Kelly Marie Tran as Raya. Why she was cast. Kelly Marie Tran, a Vietnamese-American actress known for her role in Star Wars The Last Jedi, was selected to voice Raya because of her ability to portray a strong yet vulnerable heroine. Her emotional range and connection to the character's Southeast Asian heritage were key factors in her casting. Unique contribution. Tran brought a grounded and relatable quality to Raya, making her feel like a real person navigating trust and betrayal. As the lead character, her performance anchored the film's emotional journey. Fun fact, Kelly Marie Tran was cast after production had already begun. She replaced Cassie Steele, who originally voiced Raya, as the filmmakers decided to take the character in a slightly different direction. Awkwafina as Sisu. Why she was cast. Awkwafina, known for her comedic talent in movies like Crazy Rich Asians, was chosen for her ability to blend humor and vulnerability. Sisu required a voice actor who could capture the dragon's playful and quirky personality while also conveying her deeper wisdom and self-doubt. Unique contribution. Awkwafina's distinctive voice and comedic timing made Sisu one of the most memorable characters. She infused the dragon with lighthearted energy, balancing the film's more serious themes with humor. Fun fact, Awkwafina's improvisational skills led to some of Sisu's funniest lines, adding spontaneity to the character. Gemma Chan as Namari. Why she was cast. Gemma Chan, a British actress of Chinese descent, was chosen for her ability to portray complex characters. Namari is a multifaceted antagonist who needed to be both formidable and relatable, and Chan's voice added depth to her inner conflict. Unique contribution. Chan's performance captured Namari's duality, a loyal protector of Fang, who also admires Raya and yearns for unity. This made Namari a nuanced and compelling character. Fun fact, Gemma Chan said she connected with Namari's love for her mother and her struggles to balance personal desires with responsibility. Daniel Dae Kim as Chief Benja, why he was cast. Daniel Dae Kim, a Korean-American actor with a rich voice, was the perfect choice to play Raya's father, Chief Benja. His performance needed to convey wisdom, compassion, and strength as he serves as Raya's guiding influence throughout the story. Unique contribution. Kim's voice brought a sense of gravitas to Chief Benja, making him a believable leader and an inspiring figure for Raya. His portrayal of Benja's optimism and vision for unity set the emotional foundation of the film. Fun fact, Daniel Dae Kim has previously worked on animated projects and brought his experience to create a heartfelt performance. Isaac Wang as Baon, why he was cast. Isaac Wang, a young actor of Hmong heritage, was selected to voice Baon, the resourceful captain of the shrimp boat. Despite his age, Wang delivered a confident and charismatic performance, perfectly matching Baon's spirited personality. Unique contribution. His youthful energy and comedic timing made Baon a delightful addition to Raya's team, lightening the mood during tense moments. Fun fact, this was one of Isaac Wang's earliest major roles, and his natural charm stood out during auditions. Benedict Wong as Tong, why he was cast. Benedict Wong, known for his role as Wong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, brought a commanding presence to Tong. The character's stoicism and emotional depth required a voice actor capable of balancing strength with vulnerability. Unique contribution. Wong's voice added a sense of gravitas to Tong, making him a memorable and heartfelt character despite his initial intimidating appearance. Fun fact, Wong was thrilled to work on an animated film that celebrated Southeast Asian culture. Thalia Tran as Little Noi, why she was cast. Thalia Tran, a Vietnamese-American actress, was chosen to voice Little Noi because of her ability to convey expressiveness and humor without traditional dialogue. Unique contribution, though Little Noi doesn't spy. Fun fact, Daniel Dae Kim has previously worked on animated projects and brought his experience to create a heartfelt performance. Isaac Wang as Baon, why he was cast. Isaac Wang, a young actor of Hmong heritage, was selected to voice Baon, the resourceful captain of the shrimp boat. Despite his age, Wang delivered a confident and charismatic performance, perfectly matching Baon's spirited personality. Unique contribution. His youthful energy and comedic timing made Baon a delightful addition to Raya's team, lightening the mood during tense moments. Fun fact, this was one of Isaac Wang's earliest major roles, and his natural charm stood out during auditions. Benedict Wong as Tong, why he was cast. Benedict Wong, known for his role as Wong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, brought a commanding presence to Tong. The character's stoicism and emotional depth required a voice actor capable of balancing strength with vulnerability. Unique contribution. Wong's voice added a sense of gravitas to Tong, making him a memorable and heartfelt character despite his initial intimidating appearance. Fun fact, Wong was thrilled to work on an animated film that celebrated Southeast Asian culture. Thalia Tran as Little Noi, why she was cast. Thalia Tran, a Vietnamese-American actress, was chosen to voice Little Noi because of her ability to convey expressiveness and humor without traditional dialogue. Unique contribution. Though Little Noi doesn't speak in full sentences, Tran's vocal performance helped capture the character's mischievous and cunning nature. Fun fact, Tran enjoyed the challenge of bringing a non-verbal character to life through sounds and expressions. Sandra Oh as Verana, why she was cast. Sandra Oh, a critically acclaimed actress of Korean descent, brought authority and complexity to Varana, Namari's mother and the leader of Fang. Unique contribution. Oh's voice lent sophistication to Varana, portraying her as a pragmatic and ambitious leader who genuinely believes she's protecting her people. Fun fact, Sandra Oh loved exploring the dynamic between Varana and Namari, particularly how it shaped Namari's decisions. 3. Behind the scenes. Casting philosophy, authenticity, and representation, the filmmakers were deeply committed to ensuring that the voice cast reflected the film's cultural inspirations. Many cast members have Southeast Asian or East Asian heritage, adding authenticity to their performances. Chemistry and collaboration. While much of the voice acting was recorded separately due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the team ensured that the actors' performances felt cohesive. The directors worked closely with the cast to create natural chemistry between characters, even in remote sessions. 4. Impact of the casting choices. The diverse and talented cast of Raya and The Last Dragon played a crucial role in the film's success. Their performances brought authenticity, emotional depth, and vibrant energy to the story, helping it resonate with audiences around the world. By casting actors who shared cultural connections to the story, the filmmakers not only honored Southeast Asian cultures, but also set a new standard for representation in animated films. When planning a movie like Raya and The Last Dragon, the process involves several crucial stages, including the conceptualization of the story, the creation of the world, character design, and the selection of voice talent. Here's an in-depth look at the typical planning process for a movie like Raya and The Last Dragon, from initial idea to production. 1. Conceptualization and pre-production. A. Story development. Theme identification. The first step in movie planning is deciding on the central themes. For Raya and The Last Dragon, the team wanted to focus on trust, unity, and overcoming fear. These themes were key throughout the development process, influencing not just the plot, but also the visual tone and character arcs. Story structure. The film follows a traditional 3-act structure. Act 1. Introduction of the world of Kumandra, its fractured states, and the introduction of Raya and her quest. Act 2. Raya's journey to find Sisu, along with encounters with various factions and characters. Act 3. The resolution of Raya's mission, the climactic battle against the Droon, and the unification of Kumandra. B. World building. Kumandra. The world is divided into 5 regions: heart, tail, talon, spine, and fang, each inspired by Southeast Asian cultures. The filmmakers worked closely with cultural experts to ensure each region was represented authentically, while also ensuring the world felt magical and fantastical. Mythology. The introduction of the dragon Sisu and the Droon, a dark, magical force, was part of building a unique mythology. The filmmakers designed a rich backstory about dragons and their connection to the land, which was woven into the narrative. Visual and artistic direction. The visual style of Kumandra had to be as vibrant and unique as its story. From lush jungles and floating cities to desert landscapes, the environments reflect the diverse cultures of Southeast Asia while being visually spectacular. 2. Character design and development. A. Protagonist and supporting cast. Raya. From the beginning, Raya was designed as a strong, determined, yet vulnerable character. The filmmakers wanted to create a female protagonist who is capable, resourceful, and heroic, but also humanized through her doubts and fears. Her journey of learning to trust and forgive is central to the story. Sisu. As the last dragon, Sisu had to be a unique and memorable character. The team wanted to create a dragon unlike others in fantasy films, funny, quirky, and full of heart. Sisu's voice was designed to be comedic, but also full of wisdom, reflecting the character's emotional growth throughout the film. Namari. As a complex antagonist, Namari had to be more than just a villain. The filmmakers wanted her to present the tension between loyalty to her people and her own desire for peace. She also had to be a character who could have a meaningful redemption arc by the end. B. Visual design animation style. The character designs drew from real-world, Southeast Asian influences while ensuring that each region had a distinct visual identity. For instance, Talon's characters like Baun were given a more lighthearted, fluid style compared to the more stoic designs in the spine region, where characters like Tong are portrayed. Clothing and accessories. The costumes were designed with careful attention to traditional Southeast Asian garments, blending practicality and beauty. Raya's attire, for example, combines the strength of a warrior with the practicality of a traveler. 3. Casting and voice work. A. Voice casting, character and actor selection. The filmmakers sought to cast actors who were not only talented but also had cultural connections to the film. For example, Kelly Marie Tran, Raya, and Awkwafina, Sisu, were selected because they both brought authenticity to their roles as Southeast Asian characters. Voice direction. Throughout the process, the voice actors were guided to not only deliver their lines with emotional depth, but also to ensure that their performances felt natural and connected to the overall tone of the film. Chemistry between cast members. Since much of the voice recording was done remotely, the directors worked hard to create a sense of camaraderie and chemistry between the voice actors, even though they couldn't be in the same room. 4. Animation and visual development. A. Visual direction, artistic style. One of the most important aspects of Raya and the Last Dragon was its stunning animation. The team drew inspiration from traditional Southeast Asian art, architecture, and natural landscapes, mixing these elements with fantasy to create a unique world. Fluid motion and action. The filmmakers wanted to create fluid, dynamic action sequences that were influenced by Southeast Asian martial arts. The fight scenes, especially with Raya and her dragon Sisu, were choreographed to showcase the character's agility and strength. B. Animation technology, innovative techniques. Disney's animation team employed cutting-edge technology to bring the world of Kumandra to life. The detailed textures, such as the dragon scales, water, and foliage, were designed to make the world feel vibrant and real. Simulating water. One of the biggest challenges was animating Sisu, who is a water dragon. The team had to develop new techniques to simulate the liquid, ethereal nature of Sisu's form, making her movement feel fluid and natural. 5. Music and sound design. A. Score composer. James Newton Howard, a renowned composer, was brought on to score the film. The score blends traditional Southeast Asian instruments, like gongs and bamboo flutes, with a sweeping orchestral sound, helping to create a balance between the magical and grounded aspects of the film. Soundtrack. The film features an original song, Lead the Way, performed by the artist Jhené Aiko. The music plays a crucial role in setting the emotional tone of the film, particularly in the more dramatic scenes. 6. Editing and post-production. A. Story refinement, pacing, and structure. The editing team worked on refining the pacing to balance action, comedy, and emotional beats. As the story is action-heavy but also deeply emotional, finding the right pacing was crucial to keeping the audience engaged while allowing moments of quiet reflection. Test screenings. The filmmakers held several test screenings to gauge audience reactions, making adjustments based on feedback to ensure the film's emotional core resonated with a wide range of viewers. 7. Marketing and release. A. Global reach, cultural outreach. The filmmakers worked closely with Southeast Asian cultural consultants to ensure that Raya and the Last Dragon represented a diverse group of cultures authentically. The film also featured several Southeast Asian cast members and experts to further build trust within the community. Global promotion. Disney launched a robust global marketing campaign focusing on the film's themes of unity, strength, and cultural representation. They also showcased the behind-the-scenes process of how the film was created, emphasizing the importance of diversity in both the creative and production teams. B. Release strategy. The film was released simultaneously in theaters and on Disney via Premier Access due to the COVID-19 pandemic, reaching a broad audience worldwide. Conclusion: movie planning for Raya and the Last Dragon was an intricate, multifaceted process involving creative collaboration across departments. From conceptualizing the story to designing the vibrant world of Kumandra to the careful selection of voice talent, every aspect was thoughtfully executed to bring the film's themes of trust, unity, and cultural diversity to life. In Raya and the Last Dragon, the primary antagonist is Namaari, the princess of the Fang tribe, who was portrayed as a complex character with both antagonistic and sympathetic traits. Her story provides a deeper understanding of the film's themes, particularly those surrounding trust, unity, and betrayal. Namaari's backstory and motivation. Namaari, voiced by Gemma Chan, hails from the Fang tribe, one of the 5 regions of the fractured world of Kumandra. She is ambitious, strong-willed, and dedicated to her people, but her desire to protect Fang often leads her to make difficult choices. When the film begins, the world is at peace under the leadership of Raya's father, Chief Benja of the Heart Tribe, who is determined to unite the fractured tribes by sharing the power of the magical dragons, particularly the last remaining dragon, Sisu. However, Namaari is distrustful of the other tribes, especially Heart, and has always been skeptical of their intentions. She is deeply concerned that the Heart tribe, with their dragon artifact, might use its power to control the other regions of Kumandra, making them vulnerable. Her actions are driven by a mix of protectionism, fear, and her need to prove herself as a worthy leader for her people. The initial betrayal, the pivotal moment for Namaari's character, occurs when she first meets Raya. As a young girl, she and Raya had a friendly interaction when Raya was trying to bring the 5 tribes together to meet the dragons. Raya, in her innocence, shared the powerful dragon gem with Namaari, hoping to build trust. However, Namaari, feeling torn between her loyalty to her tribe and her desire for peace, ultimately betrays Raya by stealing the dragon gem. Her actions lead to a dramatic turning point where the magical dragons are destroyed by the evil force known as the Droon, which turns people into stone. This event fractures the world further and sets the stage for Raya's quest to find Sisu, the last dragon, and restore peace. Namaari's struggle and redemption. Throughout the movie, Namaari appears as a secondary antagonist, constantly at odds with Raya. However, Namaari's role is not one-dimensional. She is conflicted about her actions, particularly her betrayal of Raya, and deeply regrets the destruction that followed. Namaari's internal struggle is highlighted as she faces the consequences of her choices. When she meets Raya again during Raya's quest to find Sisu, Namaari tries to stop her from gathering the pieces of the dragon gem. But as the story progresses, Namaari is forced to confront her feelings of guilt, loneliness, and the difficult choices she made to protect her people. She realizes that in her attempts to protect Fang, she has only deepened the divide between the tribes and fueled the very conflict she wanted to prevent. In the final act, Namaari's character undergoes significant development. She comes to understand that unity is the only way to defeat the Droon and save Kumandra. After an intense showdown, she finally chooses to trust Raya, acknowledging the importance of working together despite their past. This act of trust leads to the healing of the land and the restoration of the dragons, ultimately fulfilling the film's central theme of the power of unity and forgiveness. Namaari's character arc is one of growth and redemption. Initially, she is driven by fear and a deep-seated belief that her tribe must remain strong and independent, even at the expense of others. However, by the end of the film, Namaari recognizes the need for collaboration, trust, and compassion, qualities she initially rejected. Her journey from antagonist to ally is a key element of the story, showing how personal growth, trust, and forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds. Conclusion: while Namaari begins the story as a villain, her complexity and eventual redemption make her a sympathetic character. Her arc illustrates the themes of Raya and the Last Dragon, that the true enemy is not just external forces like the Droon, but the fear, and mistrust that divide people. Through Namari's journey, the film emphasizes the importance of learning to trust others, acknowledging past mistakes, and coming together to rebuild a better future. Early relationship with Raya. When Namari and Raya first meet, they are both young girls, and their initial interaction seems to hint at a budding friendship. Raya is introduced as a young girl, filled with hope, seeking unity between the 5 tribes of Kumandra. Raya's father, Chief Benja of the Heart Tribe, believes that by sharing the power of the dragon gem, which contains the magical energy of the dragons, he can unite all the tribes, bringing prosperity and peace. He envisions a harmonious future where trust and cooperation replace suspicion and division. Raya, in her youthful innocence and belief in unity, takes a leap of faith by inviting Namari, the daughter of the Fang tribe's leader, to meet the last dragon, Sisu, along with the other tribes. Raya trusts Namari and believes that their shared love for their land and people can transcend their tribal differences. They are both hopeful and excited about the possibility of reconciliation. However, this moment of trust is tragically broken when Namari betrays Raya. Feeling the pressure from her mother, Virana, the leader of the Fang tribe, Namari steals the dragon gem, breaking the tenuous peace and setting off a chain of events that causes the dragons to disappear and the land to be overrun by the malevolent Droon. The Droon turns people and dragons into stone, an irreversible disaster that fractures Kumandra even further. Namari's betrayal and its consequences, Namari's actions, are rooted in her own insecurities and fears about her place in the world. As the Princess of Fang, she feels a deep responsibility to her people. Unlike Raya, Namari has been raised with a worldview that prioritizes protecting her tribe at all costs. Her mother, Virana, has instilled in her the belief that the other tribes, especially Heart, cannot be trusted. To Namari, the risk of losing control over her people's fate outweighs the potential for peaceful collaboration. When Namari betrays Raya, she is acting out of a desire to safeguard Fang's future. She believes that by taking the dragon gem, she can use it to protect her people from any threat, real or imagined, whether it's the Droon or the other tribes. However, the betrayal leads to disastrous consequences, resulting in the death of the dragons, the shattering of the land, and the eventual rise of the Droon. Namari's guilt and regret over her actions begin to emerge almost immediately after the betrayal. Though she tries to suppress these emotions, she believes that her actions, though harsh, were necessary for the survival of Fang. But as the world falls apart, she can no longer deny the harm she's caused. Internal struggle and complexity. Namari's internal struggle is one of the most interesting and well-developed aspects of her character. While she appears cold, calculating, and even ruthless at times, the film gradually reveals that Namari is deeply conflicted. She is a victim of her upbringing, trained to distrust others and to believe that her people's survival depends on keeping power within the Fang tribe. Yet, Namari's heart aches as she sees the consequences of her actions, and she begins to question everything she has been taught. Throughout the film, Namari is not entirely villainous. She is portrayed as a multi-dimensional character who wrestles with the consequences of her choices. She is not an outright evil figure, but rather someone who is struggling with her loyalty to her tribe and her desire for peace. As the story unfolds, Namari's motivations become more understandable. She does not want to be an antagonist, and at her core, she is not a villain. She is a leader who believes she is doing what is best for her people, even if it means destroying others. Namari's guilt over betraying Raya is evident when she encounters Raya again during the latter's quest to reunite the dragon gem. Namari is clearly haunted. By her past actions, but she doesn't know how to make amends. Instead of being completely antagonistic, she becomes a more tragic figure, torn between her duty to Fang and her desire to right the wrongs she's done. Namari and Raya's rivalry. An emotional duel, the rivalry between Raya and Namari, is emotional, personal, and intense. Although Namari initially seems like a straight-up antagonist, the rivalry is more about the clash of ideologies and contrasting beliefs about how to approach peace and survival. Raya represents hope, idealism, and the belief that unity can overcome division. Namari, on the other hand, represents pragmatism, skepticism, and a fear that the other tribes cannot be trusted. As Raya embarks on her quest to find the last dragon, Sisu, she encounters resistance from Namari, who seeks to stop her and maintain her tribe's dominance. This sets up an ongoing tension between the two, with both characters fighting for what they believe to be the right course of action. However, as they face off multiple times throughout the film, their conflict is. In their final confrontation, Raya and Namari have a fierce battle, where both characters show not only their physical strength, but also their emotional vulnerability. The animosity between them reaches its peak, but at the same time, it is clear that there is a deep sense of sorrow, regret, and unspoken understanding between the two. Namari is torn between continuing her opposition to Raya and confronting the damage she's done. Namari's redemption. A new path forward as the story nears its climax. Namari's character arc reaches a turning point. When she and Raya are both fighting to stop the Druun from consuming the last of Kumandra, Namari begins to understand the true cost of division and fear. Throughout the film, she has been focused on preserving her tribe's safety, but now she realizes that the path to saving Kumandra does not lie in fighting alone, but in working together. In a crucial moment of the film, Namari makes a bold and selfless choice. She helps Raya in the final battle against the Druun, choosing to trust her despite their past. This act of trust and cooperation is pivotal in breaking the cycle of division that has plagued the world of Kumandra. Namari's choice to work with Raya symbolizes her personal growth and redemption. It's a powerful moment of transformation as she shifts from a character driven by fear and control to one guided by hope, understanding, and the desire to heal the rift she helped create. In the end, Namari becomes an ally, not just to Raya, but to all the tribes of Kumandra. Her redemption is not without its cost, but it marks a profound shift in her character. By learning to trust, Namari helps restore the dragon gem, and, with Raya, brings healing to the land and its people. Conclusion. A villain who becomes a hero. Namari's journey from antagonist to hero is one of the most compelling aspects of Raya and the Last Dragon, while she begins the story as a rival to Raya. Her internal struggles and eventual redemption make her a character that audiences can empathize with. Namari's arc exemplifies the central themes of the movie: the power of trust, the importance of forgiveness, and the need to unite in the face of adversity. Namari's transformation shows that villains are not simply born evil, they are shaped by their circumstances, fears, and the choices they make. Her character's growth is a testament to the film's message that healing and unity are possible, even in the most fractured of relationships. Through Namari's redemption, Raya and the Last Dragon teaches that the journey to peace requires understanding, self-reflection, and a willingness to let go of past wrongs. Tension with Namari. Namari's pursuit adds stakes as her conflicting loyalties create tension. Act 3. The resolution. Sisu's death. This emotional turning point forces Raya to confront her own mistrust. Climactic sacrifice. Raya and her companions demonstrate trust by sacrificing themselves, inspiring Namari to unite the gem. Ending. The restoration of Kumandra brings hope, unity, and the return of the dragons. 5. Visual and emotional direction. Cinematography and visuals. The directors aimed for a balance between sweeping, epic shots of Kumandra's landscapes and intimate moments between characters. Action scenes. Designed to be dynamic and fluid, inspired by Southeast Asian martial arts. Color palette. Vibrant colors symbolize hope and unity, while darker tones dominate scenes involving the Druun. Emotional beats Sisu's optimism. Her light-hearted humor contrasts with the film's heavier themes, creating emotional balance. Relationship. Raya's bond with her father anchors her emotional journey. Sacrifice. The climactic scene is designed to evoke both heartbreak and hope, emphasizing the power of trust. 6. Cultural authenticity. The creative team worked with a Southeast Asia Story Trust, a group of cultural experts, to ensure authenticity in architecture and design. Temples, homes, and landscapes reflect real-world inspiration. Cuisine. Foods like satay and dumplings appear throughout the film. Music. The score incorporates Southeast Asian instruments such as gongs and bamboo flutes to create an immersive auditory experience. 7. Challenges in production. Animating the drone. Creating a villain that is an amorphous supernatural force required innovative animation techniques. Balancing humor and drama, ensuring the film remained lighthearted without undermining its emotional depth. Pandemic constraints. Much of the film's production was completed remotely, requiring new workflows and collaboration methods. 8. Legacy. Of the film Raya and the Last Dragon is not just a story about trust, but a celebration of cultural diversity and unity. Its themes resonate universally, while its specific cultural roots add depth and richness. As a director, the focus would have been on crafting a visually stunning, emotionally impactful, and culturally respectful movie that leaves a lasting impression on audiences worldwide. Main characters and voice actors. 1. Raya voice actor, Kelly Marie Tran. Details. Kelly Marie Tran